Hi, so the channel is called Stay at Home Gamer Dad, and my wife is pregnant with our first child due in late October. And I thought that the our child, we don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet, thought that the child could be sort of the mascot for the channel. I'm not going to make the channel about me raising the child. I want to make the channel more about me managing all of my hobbies while raising the child. So it's going to be about gaming and music and what other random things I'm going to be doing around here. And I thought that the child could be sort of the mascot for the channel, but until October, I suppose Bella here will have to be the mascot for the channel. You want to come over here, Bella? Come here, Bella. Everyone wants to see you. Okay, so she's being shy. All right, so I guess we'll get right into it. So I'm setting up a retro gaming station at my in-laws' house. It was actually my mother-in-law's idea, and I just sort of ran with it, especially when I noticed that she had a 1980 Atari just sitting in one of their storage closets. So they had a bunch of games with it, too, and everything seemed to be working. I haven't tried it out yet. I haven't been able to hook it up because I didn't have this guy. So this, if you can see it, right there is basically an RF converter for an Atari. You see, the Atari only has one plug for the audio and the video signal. So what you do is you have to plug this guy into the back of the TV, the CRT TV that we're going to use, into the coax, and then the Atari plug goes into here so we can get the signal into the TV the proper way. And I know that there is a way to put a proper AV on an Atari, but that requires opening it up and soldering cables, and I didn't really want to get into all that at this time. So we'll use this. This will be great. So we've got the Atari. Now I'm going to show you next thing I have here. So this is my Model 1 Super NES. I still have it, still in working order as far as I know. And, you know, this is kind of the origin of gaming for me. And the way I got into gaming was sort of an accident. I always used to go to the arcades when I was really young, and I'd play Galaga, really, because that's what my dad liked to play. So I'd play Galaga. And I would take like a $20 bill, go to the arcade, go to the change machine, get $20 in quarters and just throw it down the Galaga machine, see how far I could get in the game. Well, after a long time of doing this, it came to Christmas of '95, I believe. So this had been out for a while. Came to Christmas of '95, and I always thought I was going to get Legos for Christmas. That's what I always asked for. Legos, obviously, I've got plenty of Legos here. And so Christmas morning, I get down there and there's this big box. I don't know what it is. I open it up, and lo and behold, it's a Super NES. So my parents said, "Oh, we got this for you because we didn't want you to go blowing your money at the arcade anymore. So now you can just play all your games here." And so they got me this. This came with the Mario All Stars and Super Mario World cart. And I got all of these cleaned up, and they're in pretty good shape now. And also, because I played Galaga so much, they got me a Super Game Boy, which I no longer have. I probably sold it. I don't remember exactly what I did with it, but I probably sold it. And I got the Game Boy version of Galaga and Galaxia, and had a lot of fun with that. It was great. So so I might be the only person that I know of that got into gaming because my parents bought it for me, and I didn't even ask for it. So I don't know. If anyone else got into it that way, I guess you can just let me know in the comments. So I'll go through my Super NES games here. Some of these need no introduction. Let's see, especially these three. We'll pull out these three first. So yeah, Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 2, which I actually won in a contest in school. I didn't have to pay for this one. And Donkey Kong Country 3. So everyone's pretty familiar with these games. They speak for themselves. Let's see. Oh, this is funny. Yeah, check this out. Krusty's Super Fun House. Yeah, I think I ended up with this. Some friend let me borrow it, and I just took it home, and he didn't want it back. And when I played it, I figured out why he didn't want it back. This is not a great game. I don't recommend this, but nevertheless, I have it. Does it smell good, Bella? Okay. And Batman Forever. I really like the movie Batman Forever, so I guess my parents probably got it for maybe Christmas the year it came out. I don't remember exactly. But I let a friend borrow it. I should say, I let a friend borrow it. And while he was borrowing it, we had a bit of a falling out. And he said he slammed it on a table really hard. So what ended up happening was this. It just came apart. And he tried to super glue it back together, but he didn't do a very good job. But the game still works. It's just that the cart is broken apart. I'm not sure if I'm going to glue it back together or not. I had it taped when I got it out of storage. I noticed I just put tape on the side, so I had to get rid of the tape, had to get out the Goo Gone and clean it all up, and so it's in good shape now. It's just loose and broken. And then I picked this up the other day at a game exchange, and I was very lucky to find this because normally I can only find it online. It's hard to find it in a store. But yeah, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. It's not a reproduction. I got a pretty good deal on this, and the cart is in great shape. It's got a little bit of yellowing there on the top, and just a little bit here in this corner on the side, probably just from sun exposure. But there was some marker writing on the side and on the top here, so I just got some rubbing alcohol, rubbed it out, got it all cleaned up, and it's in real good shape now. The only thing I couldn't get out was this thing on the back where somebody had taken a pen and written in Jake. So Jake, wherever you are, you've earned a permanent spot in my library, so congratulations. So maybe it's Jake from State Farm. Okay, let's see, moving on. Okay, I'll go ahead and do this next. We'll do this next. So, yeah, so we're going to hook up a Wii to this station, since Wiis were kind of meant for CRT TVs anyway. So, the Wii obviously is not as much of a retro system, but since I've got one, I've got a Wii U hooked up here, so I don't need a Wii here. I just thought I'd take it to my in-laws and hook it up there. So some of the Wii games I'm going to take here also need no introduction. Mario Kart Wii, good family fun there. Donkey Kong Country Returns, good family fun if you want to kill each other and possibly rage quit, because this is a pretty tough game. Zelda, Twilight Princess. My brother-in-law likes to play these. I played through it a couple times. Great game, again, needs no introduction. Okay, this needs some introduction. Fishing Resort. Okay. This is one of those cases where if you judge the book by its cover, you're not going to get an accurate feel of what the actual game is. Because if you look at the cover, it looks cheap and probably not much content there. But you got to look a little bit closer. If you look here in the corner, look what that says right there. Xseed. So that means that Xseed helped develop or publish this game. Xseed is known for doing some pretty great games. So I played this game, or I must have owned it for several months before I actually played it. And if you don't mind not having a realistic fishing experience in a video game, this game is great because you go to all sorts of different biomes, and there's many different types of fish that you can catch. Some of them are very large and some of them are not, but there's actually a lot of variety in this game. And basically what you're doing is it's kind of a collect-a-thon. You're trying to restock an aquarium by catching every fish that's in the game, and there's over 200, I think. That's what the back of the box says. Catch over 200 unique fish for your aquarium. So that's the basis of the game. I had a lot of fun. My wife had a lot of fun playing it, so that tells you something. She's not a gamer. So, okay. These next three games I'm going to sort of go through really quick because they're all Harvest Moon games. Okay, yeah, I'm one of those guys. I play a lot of Harvest Moon, and I own a lot of Harvest Moon games. I fell in love with the series when I tried out Harvest Moon 64 for the first time. And unfortunately I don't have that. But yeah, so Harvest Moon, Magical Melody, which was a port from the GameCube, Harvest Moon, Tree of Tranquility, Harvest Moon, Animal Parade. Honestly, in my opinion, the best one of these is Magical Melody, the GameCube port, because in this game, you could actually purchase the entire map and do whatever you want with it. Well, with the exception of land that other people own, but the other free space on the map you could eventually buy. And I thought that was really neat because you could just sort of do whatever you want at that point. It's kind of a sandbox. These other two were a bit more restrictive, but they had better graphics. But gameplay-wise, they were a bit more restrictive. And they had some frame rate issues, especially this one. Now, as we go along here, we're going to find out I'm kind of a frame rate file. Or whatever, if there's another name for that, I don't know. But yeah, I'm really sensitive to frame rates for some reason. My brother-in-law, he can hardly tell the difference between 30 and 60 frames per second. For me, it's night and day. So, I guess that's just how it goes. Okay, so just a couple more games here. Mario Brothers Wii needs no introduction. It's good family fun. Here's another good one that kind of falls under the radar. Ubisoft's Dawn of Discovery. I think this one was originally a PC game, and they made a Wii version that was a lot more cartoony. But it's kind of it's an economic management sort of game where you're trying to build colonies and defend it against pirates and that sort of thing. So, yeah, it was a fun game. Alright. Next. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're going to hook up the PS2, my silver PS2. I had an original PS2, but the disk drive died. So, I replaced it with this one, which is far better, takes up less space. It's silver, you know, which matched the look of the TVs at the time. So we're gonna hook that up, and I've got a few games for the PS2 here. Yeah, I got a Harvest Moon game for the PS2, A Wonderful Life, and everybody says this is one of, if not the best games in the Harvest Moon series. You know, I only played it for a very little bit, but I have to say I disagree. Because, number one, it was difficult to play because, again, the frame rate was so bad. It was hard to get around, and it was just, I don't know, it was just difficult. Also, very, very little time into playing the game. I just couldn't, I had a hard time figuring out where I was supposed to actually plant the crops and how to do it. It just, I don't know, it didn't grab me. But maybe I'll try it again sometime, and it'll be better. I bought this at a used game store, Star Trek Encounters. I like Star Trek. This wasn't bad. It was just, I think the thing about this game, oh look, it was published by Bethesda. How about that? I didn't even know that until now. You go through all of the versions of Star Trek, the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, all of the others, and you know, do missions and kind of go through the years with it. That was the cool part about this game. The gameplay, not so much. It was kind of a top-down sort of thing. So, yeah. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I like this one. It had so many fighters in it. It had like everybody. And yeah, that's really all I can say about this. I don't, it's been such a long time since I played it. I don't really remember much about it other than it being Mortal Kombat. Oh, and I also remember each character had a weapon you could just pull out and fight with. Uh, so so yeah, that was cool. I'll probably boot this up again in the near future. I got the Sonic collection. I don't know why. Probably because it was really cheap, and I just thought, oh, why not? So, anyway, Sonic. I've never been a huge Sonic fan, but why not? There's always time for something. Uh, Here we go. Jaws Unleashed. I think this is, well, it's almost my best PS2 game. This is like Grand Theft Auto, and you're playing the shark. If you've not played this game, it's it's hilarious. So, and it's good gameplay. Uh, you're the shark. You're destroying things. You're eating people. Sometimes in pretty comedic ways. So, and there's missions. So it's yeah, that's good. And then I got Gran Turismo 4. I played a little bit of this game, and I was terrible at it. When it says the real driving simulator on the front, I guess it really is, because I couldn't stay on the road to save my life when I was going really fast in the car. So I don't know. Maybe I'll pick this up again at some point and see if I can get better at it. Probably just need to get good. So, Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. I don't remember why I bought this. I think this was another impulse buy. I don't think I played all the way through it. So, I guess I'll have to pick that up again. I've heard there are better Ratchet and Clank games for the PS2, so maybe I'll look into that at some point down the road. Sonic Heroes. I played this for a little bit, and I didn't really get it. Yeah, I mean, that's all I can say about this, really. So I'm kind of just going through everything, sorting through all my games. Metal Gear Solid 3, probably the best PS2 game I have. And actually, I watched two people play this before I played it myself. I was so stubborn back then. When I had the PS2, I kind of went through a gaming, what would you call it? Dark age. I didn't play games really for a long time. About when I was in late high school and in my early college years. And then when I started coming back into it, this was one of the first games that I played through, and it kind of, showed me, hey, there's some good games out there, and you try them and have some fun with them. So that's the PS2. All right, now we're going to get into the really good stuff here. That's right, the Nintendo 64 is going with me. Now I should mention that my in-laws, they have a Nintendo 64 and a Super NES at their house already. Their Super NES is a Model 2, so it's the smaller one. And their Nintendo 64, they got the Donkey Kong 64 pack, so it's a lime green, transparent N64. So I don't know if I'm gonna hook up my stuff or just keep their stuff there. I don't know. I'll figure that out when I get there. So let's go through this. Okay, so I've got some. Here's the great thing about my N64 games is I save the boxes and the manuals for a lot of them. But these first ones here, I do not have a box for because I either purchased them in a game store or ordered them online. So yeah, so I've got Banjo-Tooie, which I can go into probably a big old diatribe about Banjo-Tooie versus Banjo-Kazooie, but in a nutshell, I like Banjo-Kazooie better because for some reason Banjo-Tooie they didn't optimize it very well, and the frame rate for most of this game is just to the point where I couldn't play it. it just hurt my eyes. So when they released it on Xbox Live Arcade, the HD version, I got that, and that was like, thank goodness they did that, because I never got to play through this game all the way through. So I was able to do that on the Xbox 360 when they released it. Conker's Bad Fur Day, another one I bought online. This game needs no introduction. Obviously, it's hilarious. I do need to get a new back sticker for it. The one that was on here was all messed up. There was actually a Blockbuster sticker on here, and I managed to get it off. And if you can see right here, I scratched the holy heck out of that right there once upon a time trying to get that sticker off. I don't remember what I did it with. Obviously, I didn't use the right tools or anything for that, so got all scratched up. Then I came back to it about a week ago and got it off the proper way. I just need to get a new sticker on here, and that'll be good. Okay, this I just got in the mail the other day. 1080 snowboarding. I just kind of got this just to get something that I didn't have, just to help round out the collection. There's other games I want to get to. I'm trying to get a Killer Instinct Gold, but I haven't been able to find one for what I want to pay for it. So I'm going to be working on that. But yeah, 1080. I still need to clean this cart up just a little bit, but otherwise it's in pretty good shape. Let's see. WCW NWO Revenge, great wrestling game. My friends and I, I was the only one that liked wrestling out of my group of friends. But my friends would come over and we would play this game and later on the WWF games. Just because they were good games. You know, you get four guys in the ring beating each other up, and they were entertained by it. So it's good. And this I got just a couple weeks ago in a game store, Diddy Kong Racing. This is just another one that I wanted to help round out the collection. And so so here's the ones that I have the boxes for. One of the other wrestling games, WrestleMania 2000. And here we go. Wipeout 64. I played Wipeout on the PS1, and I thought, oh, the N64's got Wipeout, so I'll get that. It was all right. I wasn't exactly blown away by it, but here's something interesting. I kind of want to, let me see if I can find a box that doesn't. Nope, not yet. But I'll get to that in a minute as soon as I find one. Mario 64 needs no explanation there. Shadows of the Empire, again, no explanation there. Zelda Ocarina of Time. So I bought this from a friend for like $5 in 1999. We were just in class one day. He's like, "Hey, I got Zelda. I'll sell it to you for $5." Okay, why not? And this was the first Zelda game I ever played. So it's weird how some of these games I've come across and some of these things I've come across in gaming almost just completely happenstance that I ended up getting into it just because a friend was going to sell it to me for really cheap, and it didn't. I was like, okay, whatever. So this got me going on the Zelda games. And nice of him to include the box in the manual. Thanks, man. Okay, I loved Mortal Kombat growing up. So I got Armageddon for the PS2, but Mortal Kombat 4, I had no idea this existed until I found it in an arcade one time. I was like, Mortal Kombat 4, what am I in, a dream? I didn't even know that was going on, but this was before the internet. And if it wasn't a magazine somewhere, I probably just missed it. So yeah, the first 3D Mortal Kombat game. Yeah, good stuff. Turok 2. This was the first game I got that was compatible with the expansion pack. I think I got this as a this was a Christmas present and the expansion pack. I've actually got the box for the expansion pack, but obviously the RAM pack is in the N64 right now. So, Turok 2. Here we go. Duke Nukem Zero Hour. I loved this game. It was just I got into Duke Nukem 3D on the PC, and I just thought that was kind of a unique game. So yeah, the Duke Nukem series was pretty good for me for a while, but I mean, as everyone knows, it kind of went downhill after that. Duke Nukem Forever. And here's the thing I was going to bring up. Some of these boxes, I don't know why, but some of these boxes are easy to open and some of them are not. For instance, so Duke Nukem Zero Hour, just boop, and it opens. Because these aren't tabbed out here on the side. So it just opens real easy, and you don't have to put a crease in this tab here. You don't have to put a crease in it to open it. Or maybe I'm just doing it wrong on these other ones, but let's say I want to open up Zelda. Well, it's tough because these are tabbed here. They're tabbed on both sides, and I got to open it up, and look at that. We got a crease right there from having opened it. So I don't know why that is. Why couldn't they have just not tabbed one side of it? I don't know. Here we go. GoldenEye needs no introduction. Now, obviously, this one is the million seller version. I don't have an original, but still great nonetheless. No Mercy. My friends and I, we played this game to death. And the buddy of mine who I'm going to see tonight, I mean, he didn't care for wrestling, but he loved to play as Jeff Hardy, just because of all the cool moves you could do with him. So that's one of the things I remember about WWF No Mercy. Turok, it's again the million seller version. I rented this a lot. See, I was thinking about why there are certain games that I don't own, and then certain games that I bought later, and I was trying to think, why was that? Well, it was because I didn't. I rented games a lot back then, and just played the heck out of them when I rented them. So, that's primarily why. And then later on, I just decided to own them after I had played them a lot already. So yeah, Turok, the million seller copy. Okay, Donkey Kong 64. Anyone who loves the Rareware Collect-a-thon games, 3D platformers, is going to own this. And this was really great. They used the RAM pack for the most part to improve the frame rate. Why they didn't do this on Banjo-Tooie, I have no idea, but it could have used it. But this game was excellent. It ran well. Great design, very fun to go through. And then probably the crown jewel of my collection, Banjo-Kazooie. This game is kind of legendary in the 3D platformer world. This is, for some reason, it's the game that every 3D platformer gets compared to. Because the world designs were unique. It was whimsical, colorful. Everything about it just seems to catch your eye. So yeah, I mean, I'm actually looking forward to playing through this again. So that looks to be all I have here for this. I'll probably make a short video showing off the retro station when I get it all set up. But yeah, until then, I guess everyone take care.